What is going on, everyone? Shane Rains here, Dog Talk West Virginia. Welcome back to another episode. We are playing catch up right now. Been off for a few weeks. Been extremely busy. New work schedule. Family vacation. Of course, family is first, but we are settling down in this time to play catch up. What are we covering today? Fall transition. It is officially fall. Tournament results, upcoming tournaments, and of course, we got a few points races that I'm definitely going to hit on and let you know where a few guys kind of ended up at the end of the season. So, fall transition, what is going on right now? We are waiting on that water to cool down. Right now, it is extremely warm temperatures, unseasonably warm water temperatures throughout the state. It's just now starting to cool down at night, so hopefully those temps will continue to drop, and we can kind of a little quicker transition into this fall time bite. So what is actually going on during the fall? Obviously, we all know the lakes are being drawn down, so they're letting water out of the lakes. That obviously concentrates a lot of fish, and including the bait fish. Rivers and such are starting to cool down as well. So what happens during the cool down? Bait fish, all the smaller fish that these bass are feeding on, are actually starting to move back, follow those water temps back in the back of creeks and pockets and such. They're chasing those cooler water temps. They pretty much depleted everything out there in that main lake, especially the bait fish. So when they get an opportunity to follow that cooler water, they'll move back in those pockets. Those are the warmest areas of the lake and tributaries. So those bait fish automatically want to move that way. Those areas receive the most sunlight, so plankton and such is continuing to grow late in the year, so it pulls the bait fish in, and also the bass and other smaller panfish and such move into those areas. So everyone follows for the big fall feed to feed up before the water drops substantially to where they do eventually pull back out deep. So exciting times. Like I said, we are a little bit behind right now, but it's still exciting. It shakes things up. I know Summersville Lake, when we were up there this last weekend, unseasonably warm, 80-degree water temps, still a lot of water in the lake. That just pushes those fish, scatters them out. We got some fish still out deep, and also some fish are pulling up on those points and flats to feed up. So exciting time. Can't wait to see how the bite turns on over the next few weeks as we get these colder nighttime temps. But let's jump right into some tournament results that we have missed out on. I want to play catch up a little bit, and I hope that we can do these folks justice that have won some very, very big tournaments towards the end of the year. So we're going to start out with the Battle of the Bluestone. What is the Battle of the Bluestone? It's actually a 3-club tournament. This includes West Virginia Kayak Anglers, Southern West Virginia Kayak Anglers, Summers County Kayak Bass Anglers. So all 3 clubs, if you remember at least fish an event with them that season, you got to go and fish the Bluestone, Battle of the Bluestone. Water included was Bluestone Lake, Bluestone River, Greenbrier River, and New River. It's always an extremely exciting tournament to kind of follow along with. What they actually do at the end, not only do they have an individual team, top female, top youth, they also had another invitational tournament that was ran through Gunter's Yak Shack down in Winfield. So that's exciting. So there was a lot of stuff going on that weekend. But top 10 placing anglers, they add up the total inches, and the winner, the most inches, actually takes home the Battle of the Bluestone Cup. So which club came out on top? So this is exciting. We'll go through just a couple. We'll do the top 2 individuals. We won't run through them all. You can get on any of their Facebook pages and get the full rundown of results. But second place was Buddy Vance. Buddy Vance was a member of West Virginia Kayak Anglers, fishing for West Virginia Kayak Anglers. 77 inches. Total inches for a second place finish. Great job, Bud. Buddy is always up there at the top. Very consistent angler. So that's exciting to see Buddy up there. Congratulations, Buddy. But first place for the Battle of the Bluestone went to Jerry Whitlow. Jerry had 79¼ inches. So that was a couple inch gap between first and second. That's a pretty big win. Looks like fishing was tough. as we do know, during drought conditions, and here they're drawing water from the lake, so extremely, extremely tough bite. But Jerry was fishing for Summers County Kayak Bass Anglers, so congratulations, Jerry, on your big win. Also, like I said, going back to the top 10 in each club, who took home the Bluestone Cup? Bluestone Cup this year goes to West Virginia Kayak Anglers, took the overall win, so they will be holding on that trophy until next year, so that is exciting. Congratulations to all the West Virginia Kayak Anglers, the entire club. They got a great thing going on there, and we will definitely catch up with some of those folks, John Rapp and his team, later to see how their season wraps up. So, Mountain State Kayak Anglers National Hunt and Fishing Days 2019 National Hunt and Fishing Days Tournament. This is the second year for this tournament, held at Stonewall during the big celebration that goes on every year. Phenomenal showing, tons of kids, tons of anglers, adults. They have a absolute array of different things to do up there. Competitions for kids, different events, and also quite a few demonstrations, vendors, and everything else there. So that's exciting. Didn't get to go up personally, but it looked like a wonderful time. Bass Nation of West Virginia was there with their youth program. Jared Harmon was up there covering a lot of stuff, so it's exciting to see. Chris Lawrence emceed this weigh-in for the MSKA National Hunt and Fishing Days Tournament. And you could fish Stonewall, Stone Cold, or Burnsville. So after watching some of the results show, it looks like a lot of guys stayed on Stonewall. A lot of fish were found deep. Also, some guys did report that they caught some fish up a little bit shallower. Some fish moved up on some riprap banks. So there were reports of some guys cranking them up. And there were some very, very good limits. Remind you, these are 3 fish limits. So 3 biggest fish, length, going by length. And we'll start at third place. Third place, Nick Batista. If you haven't heard this name, he is a stick, 54.5 inches. Takes third. Nick, congratulations, buddy. And defending champion last year, it came down to the top 2 anglers. Top 2 was Joe Farley and Sammy Pugh. That's no particular order. So if you haven't seen this, Sammy actually won this event last year. And so here they bring them both up onto the stage. And actually, Sammy weighed in 55.25 inches. Your defending champ actually got knocked down. Sammy's a great dude. But Joe Farley, Joe, extremely happy for you. Joe Farley weighed in 57.25 inches. A 2-inch gap between first and second. He takes over as now the new reigning champion of the National Hunt and Fishing Days Kayak Tournament held at Stonewall. So congratulations, Joe. Absolute class act. Got a lot of respect for all these anglers, and Joe is phenomenal. Great angler, very, very consistent. Fishes with multiple clubs throughout the state, and does do some traveling as well to fish. So Joe, congratulations, brother. Very, very happy for you. So let's jump into a little bit different change. So let's jump out of the kayak tournament scene, and we're going to jump into the ORBT, the Ohio River Buddy Trail. They wrapped up their season, regular season events, 6 events. So let me give you a quick breakdown of how ORBT is ran from what I've been able to gather. Joe Mitchum does a phenomenal job, and I know there's a whole group of team of people that step up to help him run this. And also, they have a wonderful sponsor base that makes these events absolutely wonderful, and always have a great turnout. Always a great turnout, and we'll hit on that in a different episode. Had 2 really long conversations with a couple buddies over the weekend about tournaments and the future of tournament fishing here and around the state. And there is a huge market of anglers up in that area. 100+ anglers show up, 100+ boats. A lot of these big tournaments. So there is a huge tournament angling crowd there. So we're going to definitely hit on that and the potential for that in the future. But ORBT, we're going to get right back into it. They run 6 tournaments. If you fish at least 4 of those, you automatically qualify for the championship. They run a point system throughout the year. You add up all your points like any other points race. So the top 5 actually sponsors have stepped up to pay entries into the ORBT next year. If you win the points race, you get all 6 paid. Second place, 5. Third place, 4, and so forth. So top 5 gets free entries into ORBT in 2020. So we're going to run through those results here in just 1 second. So the last season tournament was on out of Belpre Pool for the ORBT. They wrapped it up. And I'll give you those results. First place team of Nick McMahon, Gary Luff weighed 598. That wasn't 5 fish. They did have all 5 fish limit. Second place, no stranger, T.L. Tompkins, Corey Gwynn, 578. And that's in 5 fish. And third place was Mike Lockhart and Keith Davis. That's 549 in just 3 fish. So extremely tough fishing on the Ohio. I know we've all seen it, and I've talked about it throughout the year. Very, very tough. You're seeing at least some 5 fish bags being brought in. Hasn't always been that way throughout the season, so that was still the weights weren't huge, but these guys got it done. Big bass actually went to Mike Lockhart and Keith Davis. They weighed at 338 bass to take big bass. Now, also, these guys actually won the season-long big bass race. So they actually run what's called a Matt Boggs Memorial Big Bass for the entire season. And earlier in the season, they weighed at 434, a 4.34 pounds bass. So they did take that Matt Boggs Memorial Big Bass Award for the entire season as well. So what did that do to the points race coming down after the last tournament? So last tournament, there was a shakeup in the points in the top 5. So what happened? 5th place goes to Shane and Ben Lockhart, and they actually dropped 1 spot. But they did earn 2 free entries into 2020. And that's as long as I read that right. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So 4th place in points was Wendell Walker and Jeff Robinson. They actually made the biggest jump. They jumped 3 spots from 7. So they were out of the top 5 points race. And with their finish in this last tournament, they jumped up into the top 5. And with that, they did earn some free entries into the 2020 ORBT season. Congratulations, guys. That is definitely showing up when it's time. And that is clutch for sure. Congratulations. So 3rd place, Paul and Logan Bowie. Seen them at the top of the leaderboard a lot this year. Unfortunately, they did drop 1 spot. And if when I jump up into the 2nd place team, they've had a phenomenal year. And with the way these guys are fishing, it's no surprise that these guys had to show up to maintain their spots. But T.L. Tompkins, Corey Gwynn, they jump up 1 spot from 3rd, finished 2nd in the points race at the end of the season. Like I said, if you follow along with these guys, have had a absolutely phenomenal season fishing all over the Ohio River and surrounding areas. So, but big announcement, 1st place team, 1st place in points for the ORBT 2019 season. And that award and honor goes to Nick McMahon and Gary Luff. And if you don't know, like I said just before, they did win the last tournament, regular season tournament on the river out of Belpre. So congratulations, Nick and Gary. Awesome season. Awesome season. They came into the final tournament actually leading. So for them to be leading coming in and feeling the pressure, for them to deliver and come out on top at the end of the year is a huge accomplishment. And against that stacked field of anglers that fish the ORBT, that is a huge, huge accomplishment. Congratulations, guys. So what does that mean? Like I said, the top 5 receive some free entries, but they are now running, if you fish the 4 events, at least 4 events throughout the year, they do have their end of the year championship. That will be October the 5th out of Belpre. So very, very, very exciting. And I believe that's Belpre. I'll have to double check, but we'll keep you updated as that gets closer and see how everything shakes up at the championship. But congratulations to all the anglers. Also, kind of along the same line, the Ohio River Challenge. We all have heard about the Bass Festival, and now the Ohio River Challenge, $15,000 guaranteed 1st place prize. They had 106 boats show out. So 106 teams, they didn't fill it, but that is still a huge turnout when you look at qualifiers and other tournaments going on. That just shows you the amount of anglers we have in that area that is extremely loyal to fishing those events. So congratulations for everyone that puts on that event for a Ohio River Challenge. Absolutely wonderful turnout. So like I said, $15,000 2-day tournament, 3 fish limit. So how does this work? They actually take the top 20, I believe it was top 27 teams this year. And if you finish high enough with your 3 fish limit after day 1, top 27 goes to day 2. What happens day 2? They cancel, they zero the weights. That is a little bit different than how a lot of tournaments are ran, and a little bit different than what we're used to, but it's extremely exciting. So all you got to do is make it to that cut. So, and I'm interested to see how these guys planned to that end up winning this tournament, what their plan was going in. So I'm trying to get in contact and work out a little sit-down interview with these guys. But so canceled the weights going into day 2. So day 2 goes in, and you put up your 3 fish limit. Heaviest weight wins, and coming out on top. And for how tough this river has been fishing lately, in my opinion, these are 3 just absolute great fish for a phenomenal 3 fish limit for the win. And that win for the 2019 Ohio River Challenge tournament, and that was out of Belpre, for $15,000 goes to, you heard their name many times, and that's T.L. Tompkins, Corey Gwynn, win with 7 pounds, 10 ounces, 3 fish limit. Huge bag of fish for 3 fish. Congratulations, TL and Corey. Phenomenal season. Second place ORBT, the Wind Ohio River Challenge, and I could go on about their achievements and accomplishments throughout the year. So congratulations, guys. That is awesome to see. We see a lot of folks kind of get on a roll, and I'm telling you right now, these guys were absolutely on a roll this season, so I can't wait to see what they do in the remaining tournaments throughout the year. So also, Marshall University Fishing Trail. We're going to jump into there, give you a quick update. Wildcat Division, 2 divisions, remember. Wildcat Division last tournament, October 5th, Yatesville Lake. If you want to get in on that last tournament in the Wildcat, head down that way October 5th, and of course show up and support them for their last tournament. And these are fundraising tournaments as well for the team, so please remember that not only are they offering a wonderful trail, great payouts, and also a no entry fee championship at the end of the year, which I read is over $4,000 in payout currently, and could be more by November. I believe November the 2nd is at Summersville for the championship. So Thundering Herd Division does have a tournament this weekend, the 28th. That is at Summersville. And also they'll wrap up their season on Sutton Lake October the 12th. So they'll take top 10 teams each division, automatically qualify for the championship. There's a very tight points race for 10th and 11th place in the Thundering Herd Division. Pretty large gap after that, so I would say whoever's in those top 5 pretty well locked in at this point. You can head over to their Facebook page and look over the entire season points results and races as they are heating up. But with 2 tournaments still left, or I'm sorry, 1 tournament left in the Wildcat Division, that's tight. Like I said, Thundering Herd Division, they actually have 2 tournaments left, so I guess even though there's a 100-point gap, I said that kind of wrong, but even though there's a 100-point gap there could be some guys still move up a little bit, but they got that pretty tight. Somebody's got to show up and really throw down the last couple turns. So that's exciting to see. Like I said, inaugural year for the Marshall University Bass Trail. So they're doing a great job. Congratulations, Chase and crew. Y'all do a fantastic job. So we're going to see what happens November the 2nd. But like I said, this weekend, next tournament is at Summersville Lake. So everyone is welcome. $125 entry. Any more information, reach out to their page. They'd be glad to let you know what's up. So final, I definitely wanted to hit on this, and this was an event from actually a few weeks ago on the Kanawha River, and this was the 3rd stop of the Thundering Herd Division. That was held on the Kanawha. There were no 5 fish limits weighed. Extremely tough. Second place team, Keith Kasdorf and Howard Smith, 395 and 3 fish. But first place, and I hope you can, if you didn't see, you can look back through the page, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the picture of these 2 giant fish. But first place went to Kenny Day and Rick Harris, 2 absolute sticks as well, and they only weighed in 2 fish. You ask, how big were those fish? 2 giant smallmouth went 901. For the Kanawha River, if any of you fish, you know those are extremely hard to come by. To see Rick and Kenny hold up those fish is definitely reassuring that we have some wonderful fish still swimming around and those are extremely old fish for that fishery. So congratulations, Kenny and Rick, again on another wonderful win. So that pretty much wraps up results, and I know I hit on a little bit of upcoming tournaments. This will be all that this is in this video. I'm going to scroll through and hit on just a couple last things as far as upcoming tournaments. We are going to do an episode on the qualifier system. I've had a lot of folks reach out to me and say, hey, how do I fish as a, how do I get in a boat fishing tournament as a non-boater? Or, how do I get into tournament fishing? Or what's the state qualifier and the state championship, regionals and nationals? Well, there is a kind of a set path to achieve those goals. Definitely want to run through all of those, and that'll be a next episode. It should drop here in just the next couple of days. So I'm trying to play catch up, let you know what all's going on and how and why these events are happening and what the next step is after those. So Bass Nation of West Virginia, like I said, qualifiers are going on. There's already been a couple go down. We'll go over those results and what that means for those folks, and also a couple qualifiers still left to go. West Virginia Bass Federation is going through their qualifier system as well, leading up to the state championship to decide who will make the 2019-2020 season state team and will represent West Virginia at the regional. So that's exciting. Excuse me. And that pretty well kind of took over and covered everything that I was going to talk about in the upcoming tournaments. Let me scroll through here just real fast. Like I said, we're leading into the 28th and 29th this weekend. And for this weekend, Mountain State Forest Festival. I almost forgot that. Stonewall Jackson Lake. This is a huge tournament. For this time of year. Mountain State Forest Festival in Elkins is kicking off, so this is an annual tournament they run, and I believe this is Vandalia Ramp, and I could be wrong, but I believe it is Vandalia. I'll make sure I share the flyer on the page. So that's going on this Saturday. Like I said, Marshall University Bass Fishing Trail will be at Summersville Saturday, and if you kind of scroll through here, and all this can be found on wvdnr.gov/fishing/tournaments.shtm, or you can just log into the DNR page, go to the fishing main page, and the tournament list is over on a tab in the list. But we'll scroll back through here a little bit more. We got some open tournaments, a few small club tournaments kind of wrapping up throughout the state. Looks like I said, the Ohio River Buddy Trail will have their championship on the 5th, and qualifiers and such. And if you scroll on through, and that, we're coming down to the home stretch. There's not a whole lot going on. This will last into about the first part of November, and there are still tournaments that guys will cram in. A lot of local smaller club stuff that will gain a lot of exposure, and a lot of folks will fish these. But that pretty well wraps up today. Like I said, I apologize for it taking so long to get everyone caught up on everything, but thank you for sticking around. Thank you for your support. And until next time, you know what I always say, I'll see you on the water. Stay tuned for another episode dropping in the next few days. Y'all have a wonderful night.